you're next. Then you, then you, then you. And don't scuttle off around the back there. I can see you. You're next after. In fact, you're first. Hey folks, KILT-MAN here. KILT-MAN at your services. How are you all? Hope you're doing very, very well. Here's a video review for a film which I've been trying to review for actually many, many years now on the channel. I've always meant to do it and then never got around to it, forgot about it. And then this time I made that silly damn fool mistake which I often make of announcing it in advance. Oh, I'll be reviewing You're Next. And then stuff happens, you know, things get in the way, and the time I set aside to do like a rather longer, more in-depth video, suddenly I don't have that window of opportunity. So it doesn't happen. Days become weeks, become months, become years, and I never get around to it. And today's no exception, but I'm going to do it regardless. Stuff has got in the way of this video today as well. I can't believe it. I can't even believe it, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, You're Next. Anyway, I'll wrap it up in half an hour now. You watch. I probably will. By the way, cheers you all. Because what did I do? I thought I'm going to get that video done today. Well, I'll go out, have a couple of whiskies, early doors, have a bit of a knit and natter with the locals and all that, the regs in the cask, and that'll get me all in the mood. And then anyway, you know, that didn't actually work quite as well as I thought it would. But I've still got one of these though, folks, so there you go. You're next. Chin chin. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Anyway, this film was due out in 2011, so 2011, but it got shelved for lots of varying reasons, alongside Cabin in the Woods as well, which sat on the shelf for a while. And then finally sort of light of day. Cabin in the Woods, of course, went on to like become a great big genre favourite and did pretty well. You're Next played various film festivals and got great, you know, acclaim. Critics loved it, but no one went to see it on general release. Nobody bothered, including me. But when it came out on home video on Blu-ray, I reviewed it way back in the day for AV Forums. And I remember when I first watched it, I was full of complaints about it. It's Agatha Christie, it's 10 Little Indians, it's a family reunion goes horribly awry. And people get offed left, right and centre. But who's behind it all? Why is it all happening? What's going on? Is there someone there who can fight back? We're not talking Poirot here. We're not talking, you know, Benoit Blanc, you know, we're talking like someone who's got skills who can fight back against the supposed home invasion attack, the slasher come thriller come action movie. And but everything is not as it seems. And I watched it the first time round and I thought like, well, because I guessed everything. I even guessed who the culprits were. You know, oh, you're behind this, you're behind that. You know, I don't trust you at all. I could see it all coming. You know, I'm a genre babe. I know these things. I've seen them since I was literally a microbe. So nothing surprised me. So the first time I watched it, I thought like, oh, you could have wrapped this up. If this was your campaign, you could have done this in literally less than 5 minutes. Easy peasy. Why have you dragged it on? Why the elaborate masks? Why this? Why that? And I thought, oh, what the hell are you playing at? You're just dragging this thing out. But I thought, I've got to review this, so I'm going to watch it again. And the second time around, I thought, oh, got it. I've got the beauty of this now. You are taking the piss. It's a slapstick, splatstick, horror, slasher, thriller, crime, home invasion, comedy. You can't take it seriously, and that is the whole point. The guys behind it, Adam Wingard, you know, Godzilla, The Guest, Onslaught, which is coming out very, very soon after this video, in fact. Well, soon, as in not right after this video, but in a few weeks' time. And I'll be covering that. And The Guest is awesome. and his great co-creator Simon Barrett, who wrote this and also stars in it as well, albeit behind a mask. You get the joke, and suddenly I was like, oh, do you know what? The review I was going to write for AB Forums, I have to scrap that review, that knee-jerk, sort of like 15,000 words. You know what I'm like? Why use one sentence when an entire chapter will do, you know? And I watched it again, I thought, fuck, I love this movie, it's working. So anyway, I've seen it several times since, obviously, and then obviously for this purpose of this video. And the reason why I've gone back to it is because the film Onslaught is due out, and Adam Wingard is behind that, and this film is connected. This film, You're Next, The Guest, and Onslaught are all connected. Just saying that right now. Don't know about giving 2 thumbs up, but you know, hey, you know, they're connected. I like it. So a dinner party. You have the dad has just retired from a defence contractors company. I've got some details here. I have to check on that. KPG defence contractor, and all the family, the disparate elements of the family, are all coming together in their country, their rural country house in where are they? Is it Wyoming? No, it's Missouri. It's Missouri. And it's a big, massive, in America they call them antique houses. I think the house in question at the time of filming was 120 years old. It's a bit older than that now. It's a massive Tudor style house. Tudor style. In the UK, just to let you know, we have genuine Tudor buildings from the Tudor period. America, you guys, you know, you love your history, but you ain't got much of it. We've got thousands of years of history. You've only got 200 years tops, maybe 300 tops. That's it. But this house is a mock Tudor estate, and it is huge. It's labyrinthine, and it's a majestic edifice. It's perfect. So the family reunion is going to take place there. But as the film starts, oh no, we get a shock beginning. We get the neighbour's house, the neighbours, and Larry Fessenden, the great indie filmmaker, producer, writer, star, director, Larry Fessenden. I've covered his stuff many times before. He plays, he has got a name. Let's just find the name now. Eric Harson, and he's like a college tutor, but he's banging one of his students. And we learn that this guy was married, but split up because he was shagging one of his students. And at the start of the film, we see the two of them banging away. And if you see, you know Larry Fessenden, he looks like Jack Nicholson with less hair. And you know, there's no way he bagged that babe, who's played by Caitlin Shield as Talia. And she was asked to wear, you know, after the sex scene, to wear like the highest, you know, socks, sort of pop socks, but go up to the top of her thighs, like stockings basically. Adam Wingard has a thing for that. And anyway, the socks that she wears aren't quite that high, but it's still uber sexy. And she comes down after the love-making session and puts on, of course, the famous song, made more famous by this film itself, Looking for the Magic by the Dwight Twilley Band from 1977. I did a video on this to make sure I could play it on this video without getting blocked by the gods of YouTube copyright. And she puts this on a CD on repeat, and then she gets offed. She gets hacked up. You don't see that on screen, but you see her body. When Larry Fessenden comes out the shower, comes downstairs, this is playing, and he sees her body, and then turns around, and suddenly he gets macheted in the head, and blood splatters across the screen with "You're next" across the screen. So you kind of know, right, we're in for lots of kills and, you know, sharp weapons, and rather gory excesses perhaps. Again, I'm doing the 2 thumbs up again. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'll have some of this to subdue the thumbs uppiness. Cheers, y'all. So in their house, there's 2 dead bodies in that house now. Tutor and lover. And this is playing constantly on repeat. Then we get to meet all the other characters who we're going to find. And you get Barbara Crampton and the great Barbara Crampton and Rob Moran as the Davison matriarch and patriarch. Now, the guy, the father, is part of that defence contractors group. The reason why I keep mentioning it is because that definitely ties in, I think, to the overarching story of The Guest and Onslaught about super soldiers, but we'll come on to that later. And they're going back to it's their country retreat. So as they drive past the house of the dead, you know, and they see the car parked outside, and you learn about like, he took off from one of his students and all, like, well, it'd be nice to have neighbours here for a while, won't it? You know, okay, that's fine, yeah, great. So we know that they know these people, and they drive up to their house, and Aubrey, who is Barbara Crampton's Aubrey, a woman called Aubrey. I'm gonna stop you right now. Does any of you guys know any woman ever in the world whose name was Aubrey? Do you? If you do, great. I've never heard of a girl called Aubrey. And Barbara Crampton, don't forget, is now, she's, you know, a glorious granny, and she is uber glorious. She looks unbelievably sexy to this day. Now this was a good, what are we now, 2026, so it's, I don't know, I can't do the maths, 16, 17 years ago, and even then they had to age her. They had to grey her hair and put wrinkles on her face because she's meant to play an older woman, and she's clearly one of the sexiest women in the world. Reanimator, From Beyond, you know her stuff. And she had retired by this stage, and then this film brought her back. So I read this, I'll do this. And then she did, after this, did a lot of other films, and she's still acting even today. But they sort of olderized her. It doesn't fool no one. She's still the sexiest woman in this movie. So they arrive, and she's got feelings. Hang on, the door was unlocked. Did you hear that noise upstairs? Oh, well, maybe the workmen didn't. Obviously, they've had stuff done on this house. Workmen left the door open. I didn't hear nothing at all. And anyway, they go and check and all, and they find nothing. And then everyone else arrives. So you meet the rest of the family. You meet, and let's go through them. You meet, let's get him right, Crispian Davison, who is the, he's played by A.J. Bowen, and he's got a girlfriend called Erin, played by Shawnee Vincent. I'll have to refer to this, there's a lot of names, folks, so bear with me. By Shawnee Vincent as Erin, and she is delectable. She's the poster girl. She's, without, you kind of know right from that anyway, she's the final girl, and she's fucking awesome. She's the tie-in with The Guest and Onslaught, even though it wasn't written that way, but now we know that it is ties in. They arrive, and she's super nice. Haven't met the family before. Only had this boyfriend. She's Australian. They're all American. They're all Missourians, and but there's clearly there's something going on, and you get a pleasant night is had, and then the rest of the family arrive the next day, and this bunch of complete twats. Right, okay, so we get who we get? Joe Swanberg as Drake. Now Drake Davison, Joe Swanberg is an improv actor, theatrical. He's done lots of movies, but his stuff is very indie, very improv. Same as Wingard, and most of their stuff has this element of improv and indie sensibilities. And he's there with his wife? I'm not too sure now. Might be his wife. Crispian is it Kelly? I can't remember now. Doesn't matter. He's there with his bird anyway, and yeah, Amy, he's married to her, and they turn up, and of course you've got instant sibling rivalry the next morning because Crispian gets up. Crispian, what a fucking name! Like you got Aubrey, and then you got Crispian. I mean, I'll be honest, these names are very strange. They're not the norm, which I think they've clearly done that on purpose. So anyway, they meet up the next morning, and straight away, Drake is like, he's punching him and giving him some martial arts like that. And they're watching wrestling on TV, and you can see the sibling rivalry is already there. And Crispian has a round face. And being a round-faced guy myself, I understand, his plight. And Drake's going like, you got that fat face. He said, I've got a round face. Just because I've got a round face doesn't mean I'm fat. He said, no, you're right. Just having a round face doesn't mean you're fat. It's all the fat on your body that makes you fat. This is all improv. This is improv stuff, and it works. It's done sort of low-key, underscored, I was going to say there, but the dialogue's kind of, it's not in your face, it's kind of under the radar, so you got to try and listen out for it. But it's great, and I love that kind of thing in this sort of movie. They're just letting him, Adam Wingard lets his actors do what they can. Here's the script, here's Barrett's script, and but go with it, just because they're all friends. They've made many movies together, so I'll trust you guys. Just get on with it. And it's great. It's a great sort of like, but also a bit of a needling sort of thing. You know these people aren't going to get along. And then the next group arrive. Oh, Jesus. So who do you get next? You get, oh God, let's get this right. Nicholas Tucci, or Tucci, as Felix Davison, who's got a face like one of the Beavis and Butthead sort of guys. He's another improv actor. He's a Shakespearean actor as well. But he's got the big flared nostrils and pointy nose and pointy, very sort of, arrowhead sort of face, Beavis and Butthead style. And he's got his girlfriend Z, played by Wendy Glenn. And Wendy Glenn is just chewing bubblegum. She's pure goth girl. She's got like a proper a jet black sort of bowl head sort of thing. She looks uber sexy because they're the girls I go for. They're the goth girls, the punkettes, that sort of thing. And she's got the dark eyeshadow and all that, and the ruby red lips. She looks amazing. Anyway, but she's a complete and utter bitch. Barbara Crampton's like, hey, it's great to see you all. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh God, it's great to see you all. And but she's like rolling her eyes. In reality, folks, and I've seen this not towards myself or my people, but I've been to parties where someone's arrived and they've been doing that exact sort of shtick, and I've spotted it, and the hosts have just put up with it, and I've thought, and I've made a point of it to the person themselves. You're a fucking twat. You come to our party, you act like that. I'm gonna fucking do you. And but she's like that. So straight away, you've got like arrows pointing to her head, But there's a daughter as well. The daughter is, Margaret Laney playing Kelly Davison. And her boyfriend is Ty West playing Tarek. Ty West, filmmaker himself. He was making films even back then, VHS, with these guys, and an actor as well. Now, Ty West, when he made this, even he's got like a Palestinian fucking thing around his neck, shamag and all that, like, and he looks like the actor Simon Helgand, is it? From Big Bang Theory, Simon Helgard, Howard Warowitz. He looks just like him. He's in fact. Watching it again this time after binging Big Bang Theory, it was like, is it? No, it's Ty West. The actor's Ty West, but he's got a sheer doppelganger, Simon Thingamajig from Big Bang, and he's a filmmaker, and they're sitting around a dinner table. So he's with the daughter. So you've got Drake with his wife. You've got Shawnee, Vincent, Erin, and you've got who's with Crispian. See, you've got a lot of fucking people, folks. This is another reason why it's hard to review this. When I go in depth about things and I go through scene by scene by scene, it's very hard because you've got a lot of deaths, a lot of incidents, a lot of toings and froings, and to get it all correct when you've been drinking, it's not easy. So anyway, the dinner takes place, arguments take place, and the father makes them all join hands and say a prayer, and goth bitch is like, Z is like kind of like still chewing gum, big fucking roast dinner in front of mine. Tarek, Ty West, is a filmmaker, but he makes documentary sort of things, and you got Drake, who's forever needling people. Drake, by the way, looks like the fabulous and now the late great deceased Sean Locke, one of the UK's greatest comedians, greatest stand-up, greatest panel show contestants. Absolutely unbelievable character. Well, he looks like him. I swear down, he looks like him. And so it adds a bit of flavour to it as well, like especially because he's acting like a complete nutter, acerbic, sarcastic twat as well. So he instigates an argument with Crispian again, because Crispian is with Erin, right? And he's like, so Crispian, you still working in the school? Oh yeah, I'm still doing that. Erin, weren't you a student there? Yeah, I was. Now I've moved on to whatever, blah blah blah. Oh, so you two are together, tutor and student. Remember what I said about the opening? Larry Fessenden and his babe. He left his wife for one of his students. It's funny, the symmetry seems to be there. Anyway, throughout this, also I think Crispian Drake is needling Tarek. What kind of films do you make? Oh, well, documentaries. Oh, I prefer commercial movies. Well, I make adverts for documentaries. Well, I prefer commercials for, because you got to hit the ground running. You got to deliver your message, like that. He's just needling everybody. So an argument takes place across the table. But Tarek, being a cinematographer and a director, has noticed something out the big windows, and we see him look a couple of times, look again, and he gets up. Argument is taking place other end of the table or across the table, and then suddenly people begin to like notice this guy's got up. He's gone to the window, and he's looking up close to the window, and then glass breaks, crossbow bolt between his eyes, turns around. They're all like sitting there. Screams, hits the deck, deaded. Someone's took him out with a crossbow. Crossbow bolts come flying through the windows. Suddenly everyone's panicking, and now you enter the realm of horribly shaky cam. Now, this was also the era of Jason Bourne and the whole shaky cam stuff on TV dramas as well. Camera just couldn't fucking keep still. Epileptic camera work. You're like, oh god, you can't watch that shit now. You can't watch it. It's a struggle to watch it. It was back then, but it was new and fresh. But at least it's put you in the environment of chaos. It's a fucking pain in the ass, and they do it in this. Did I write down the cinematographer? I don't know if it did. I didn't. No, I didn't. But anyway, but worry not, folks. That is only for this sequence. Although it's a protracted sequence. Crossbow bolts are going through the windows. Erin, Shawnee, Vincent. Erin really sizes up the situation quickly. Right, he's dead. Fuck that. You need to get out of this room right now. Pick up chairs and use them and run out the room. And she crawls down underneath the big banquet table. Apparently in real life there was something sticking out at the end of the table, and in the take she almost blinded herself by hitting this, whatever it was at the time, like managed to duck underneath it just in time. So you see a lot of like real tension there. And you know, these bolts are going through. She's got everybody out there, the body's still there, and she picks up a chair and stuff like, and bolts are hitting her, manages to escape. She's the only one amongst the panicking masses. They're like, okay, we can do this. Look, like we're being attacked. Right, we need to go upstairs, lock all the windows, lock all the doors, and all that. Like, yeah, and try and find out what the hell's going on. And she's brilliant. I mean, you already know she's the final girl. I said that, didn't I? And she is, and she's outstanding. But you'll find out why. Cheers, you all. Going to run out of that very quickly. That's her theme. Kyle McKinnon, I think, did a lot of the score for this. But Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett also supplied music on their phones and created tracks for the score. And this became known as the Commando theme for Erin. And it is pure James Horner from Commando. Very definitely. And I don't think, I think it was Kyle McKinnon, I don't think he even knew that he was copying that. It was just in his mind. He was like, this would be a great theme, you know, for Erin, getting prepared. And everyone's going like, oh, that's pure Commando. It is, it's exactly the same as Commando. But anyway, she's took charge now. They got like, well, can anyone get a signal on the phones? Oh no, the phones have all gone dead, got no signal. And you got Felix, who's the big twat of the family, the one with G, the goth girl. He's like, well, oh, I've heard about these things. You can get signal jammers. You can buy them from Amazon for blah 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 blah. And he gives way too much information. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, we got that now, but someone needs to get out of this house. And like, Erin's kind of like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. So you get this epic scene of Drake's wife. Let's get this one right. No, it's not Drake's wife. It's the daughter. Sorry, I knew this would happen. There's so many things and so many characters that do stuff in this that it's hard to, you know, get it in its chronological order. It is Kelly Davison, the daughter. She's just lost Tarek, bolt through the head. Ty West, down he's gone. The Axe movies, down he's gone. And so she's got nothing to lose now. She was like, look, open the doors. You know, I'm going to run and I'm going to get to the car. I'm going to get to the neighbour's house. I'm going to do something anyway. So in a big slow-mo thing, and you got Felix and the dad are going to open the doors, the main double doors outside to let her out. And she does this slow-mo run. Now, in reality, you know when you see these runs, do you know how they got to do them? They have to run, but they run in slow motion. You can't run fast. You won't capture that in slow motion. So you have to run sort of like exaggerated slow-mo moves, but it looks astonishing. And she runs out, and there's a fucking garrote wire across the doorway, and she's fucking, you know, clotheslined, and it's gone through her throat, and she's like on the deck, throat's bubbling, blood's gushing everywhere. She's been offed as well. More screams, more panic, drag the body in, cover the bodies up. You will notice that in this film there's a lot of bodies covered with drapes or curtains, and that is when what they had to do, they couldn't, it's very low budget, remember. They had to, like, once those characters, someone's phone alarm going off in the movie, once these characters are gone, they're off the set, you couldn't pay them anymore, so got to go. So the mannequins underneath these shrouds of blankets or towels or curtains. So they're just mannequins underneath these things, but they're dotted around the house all the time, like bodies everywhere. And so she's gone as well. Like Jesus, right? So Erin again is taking charge. Got to lock the windows. Got to do this. Got to shut the doors. Check upstairs. There could be one inside. Blah 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 blah. Remember Barbara Crampton when they first come in, and the dad, she thought there's someone in the house, there's someone upstairs, I heard a noise. So anyway, but the mum's lost her her daughter and her daughter's fella, straight away, party's gone to rack and ruin, and everyone's bloody arguing, and that bitch is chewing gum all the time, no respect at all, and so they take her upstairs to bed. Well, just put mum to bed. This is Barbara Crampton. She's the big genre scream queen in this movie. Well, won't last much longer, and it's a great sequence. They put her to bed. They try and calm her down. You know, right, we're gonna barricade the house. We're gonna get help. Don't worry, you know, we'll sort this all out. Just rest now. And they all leave the room, and as she's lying on the bed, it's so uber creepy. A hand comes out from under the bed like a spider, like that. Just quietly, gently, while she's oblivious, in shock and trying to get to sleep. And then this figure crawls out from under the bed, wearing, what mask is he wearing? The fox. He's the fox mask, right? And here's the, let's get it out there right now. This house is being attacked by 3 people in masks. You've got tiger, you've got fox, and you've got lamb. And these masks were all bought very just nice and cheap animal masks, which they spray painted white like Michael Myers' mask, the William Shatner mask. And they knew that masks in movies are iconic. Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, we've got Freddy Krueger, The Purge, and them, and loads of other movies. Masks are involved, and so they wanted something that was simple but iconic, something that was, you know, anyone could go out and buy these things. And those masks, which, had I really thought about this properly, even though I spent years to get this review out, I could easily have bought not the exact mask, but very similar masks and put them in the background, but I haven't done it, so there you go. But they're very simple masks. A fox, a tiger, and what's the other one again? A fox, a tiger, a lamb. And the weird thing is, the lamb you think would be, you know, a lamb. The lamb guy, assassin, is the most sadistic by far. Fox is pretty damn bad. Tiger is fucking useless. The tiger, the most ferocious thing of all those animals, he's fucking useless. And that's the great thing of they've done that on purpose. They reversed it. And Simon Barrett, the writer and producer of this movie, he plays the tiger assassin. Hey, we'll come on to all that. So Fox comes out from the bed and he's got a big machete. Barbara Crampton, Aubrey, wakes up, sees him, right in the head. You don't see that. You just see blood and fucking. Everyone hears the screams, and they take quite a long time getting up the stairs. Understandably, because you don't know if there could be booby traps all over the place. Booby traps, did you say, KILT-MAN? Yes, they'll come into it. Yes, we know. But anyway, they get up there and they come into the room, and there she is, machete in her head, blood everywhere. She's dead, and "Your next" is scrawled on the wall in her blood. So panic. The dad's in distress. Oh God, I lost my daughter. I've lost my wife. This party's shit. You know, I wish I hadn't invited anybody now. And everything's panicking again. Erin is still the one who's the rock solid, you know, girl, and she knows, like just calm down. We can sort this out. We can defend ourselves. Everyone get weapons. Goes to the kitchen drawer. You know, pulls out like knives and screwdrivers and fucking pizza cutters and all, whatever, you know, cheese graters, got everything. Everything's there. You think about it, your house is full of weapons. Where, you know, in certain countries they have, you know, knife ban, must ban knives, zombie blades, samurai swords, this, that and the other, big fucking movie, you know, replica knives and things. Like, can't have those. Most knife crimes are not committed with those blades. They're committed with what? Kitchen knives, screwdrivers and box cutters. Stanley knives, as we know them in this country. Stanley knives. And they'll never ban those because they're tools, and every house has them. So most knife crime is committed by things you find in your kitchen drawer or your toolbox. not by your movie replica Rambo knives and like, no. Anyway, so Erin's taken charge, and in a great scene, it's also Tiger's first sequence. We know there's two outside the house. Well, we're gonna know there's two outside the house. We know there's one inside the house because he's under the bed. Fox, that is. And Erin goes to get the drawer and bring out some knives and stuff like. And in a great moment, a hand crashes through the kitchen window and grabs her hair and pulls her head back. And she just turns around and skewers his hand or his arm to the window panel. And like gets away, recovers, gets another knife, turns around. He's gone. There's blood on the window pane and all that. So he's gone. Now apparently there's lots of glass breaking in this movie. Glass smashing, bodies going through windows, people jumping through windows, and every single one of those gags, the stunt gags, work. The candy glass, the sugar glass worked every time. Apparently every other effect didn't work. So the gore effects, the practical stuff never worked, but the glass stuff always worked first time round. So anyway, there's a little tiny bit left. I'll try and make that last. So anyway, so we know there's one outside there. You've got the crossbow bolt guy, and you've got Tiger outside there as well. So anyway, she scared him off, and he's been wounded anyway. So we've lost Tarek, we've lost the daughter, the garrote, the clothesline, we've lost the mum now already, and it's what's his name? Fucking hell, what's his name? It's Drake's missus. So Kelly, no, not Kelly. Amy. Fucking hell. It's such an annoying thing, and I've written them all down and written what happens to them as well. Oh, I've missed something out. Drake gets a crossbow bolt in his shoulder. How did I miss this out? During the initial onslaught, he gets a fucking bolt in his shoulder. Jesus, and they have to try. They force feed him painkillers. Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention that. It's quite a crucial bit as well. Anyway, and we can't take it out because having dealt with arrows and spears and penetration of the body with a projectile, you don't, like you see in movies, just tear it out. You can't do that. You're gonna cause catastrophic injury. It may have missed arteries on the way in, but you pulling it out will sever those arteries. You've got to be really, really careful. It's got to be done surgically. You've got to keep pressure on the wound, keep the wound down, cover the wound up, snap whatever it is, so you keep the thing to a minimum. And it's not easy in the field. It's terrible to deal with. So he's got his arrow in his shoulder as well. Anyway, his wife goes up to the room where Aubrey, Barbara Crampton, was killed, and you can see how she's thinking, you're next. And the body's still on the bed, like they've wrapped it up in sheets and all that. She looks out the window, and you can see she's thinking, well, no one got out. Someone was in here to do this. And then she kind of goes, hand on the mattress, leans under the bed, looks under into the darkness, and suddenly out a fox face goes, she's like, wah! And she fucking legs it out the house. She legs it down the stairs, past everybody. They're all on the stairs at the time, like all huddled together. Legs it through them all, and she opens the front doors. She ducks under the garrote wire, fucking legs it right out into the night. So Drake goes after it. What the hell? He legs it, and this is brilliant. He legs it after it. He's got the crossbow bolt on his shoulder, and she ducked under it. He forgets. He ducks, but it hits the crossbow bolt. He goes, oh! Obviously, it's going to cause massive pain. It's like, oh! And he just he stands there, looking at us in the camera, and just goes. And there's one of those old school feints, and it's brilliant. If at any point in the movie up until now you hadn't realised this was a comedy, this is the point. He says, pointing. where you'll realise, yeah, this is for laughs. It is basically for laughs. Because his swoon is majestic. It's very theatrical, but it works in the context, because he would be in just sheer pain. He's like, as this fucking bolt's been ripped out of him. Anyway, so down he goes, and they obviously bring him back in. But his missus legs it to the neighbour's house, legs it all the way through the woods, and I think we see Lamb with a crossbow on his back, boiler suit, combat gear, Lamb mask, as you do when you're on tactics and strategically invading someone. He's like, goes off after her, and she goes to the house, Larry Fessenden's house, and you can see him sitting there, and you can hear the music. You can hear, looking for the magic playing. Let's play that again, because this is a powerful scene. Where the hell is it? She's like banging. Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? Open the fucking door, open the fucking door. And you can just see the back of Larry Fessenden's head sitting on a settee, and he's just there like that. But she can't see what's happened to him, like. And then in the glass, you see the reflection of Lamb looming in like that. And she turns around, and Lamb just goes, fuck off, and punches her right in the face, and knocks her through the glass door, into the glass. Oh, fucking hell. He picks her up, he throws her over the table, he hits her again, and there's glass everywhere, and it's fucking horrible. And she's lying there sort of like, oh god, done in, all cut with glass. Looks up and she sees Larry Fessenden sitting there, the neighbour, in the chair like that, and there's a massive machete wound in his head, like that, all blood down his face. He's just sitting in the chair like that. She was like, ah! And Lamb takes his time. Picks up a great big fucking axe, a great big double-headed axe, and puts his foot on her chest, stands on it like that, and just takes his time, swings the axe, boof, side of her head, and it's horrible, horrible. Then he sits down next to Larry Fessenden's corpse and just sits there. And I swear down, you think he's going to do the Michael Myers head thing, because he does. You watch it, he begins to like, but it doesn't happen. Now, when they first wrote this, the idea was he was going to kill her with a golf stick. He's going to find a golf club, and he was going to beat her around the head, several times before stoving her head in like with it. And he went, we can't really do that, so let's just go the axe, just do it with the axe, douche. Now, I think what would have been better, I shouldn't say this, but because it works great as it is, Fessenden's body's there, and Lamb sits next to him. By the way, Lamb is played by, we'll talk about the killers in a bit, but I'll say it now. Elsie Holt playing the character Craig, who's Lamb, and he sits there. Now, I really think what should have happened, you should have had Larry Fessenden and his girlfriend, the sock wearing, super sexy little student, should have had her sitting there as well, all done in like that, and Lamb should have sat in between them. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because Simon Barrett, who wrote this, said that one of the films influenced him, and Adam Wingard as well, the director, is Stage Fright. Michele Soavi, Stage Fright, great 80s Italian stalk and slash, where the killer, all the victims are locked. I've reviewed it, in fact, I'm sure I reviewed it, are locked inside a theatre and overnight, and with chainsaw, knives, hammers, fucking all sorts. He lays waste to them all. It's a great gory, excessive, slasher movie par excellence. But he wears a huge outsized owl mask, which sounds ridiculous, but it looks really creepy beyond belief. And he arranges the bodies on stage while the final girl is watching, hidden away, And I've definitely covered this. I know I have. And it's outstandingly creepy and weird. And he arranges all the bodies, makes a tableau on stage of all. Some are sitting on settees like that, and he puts feathers on them, and they're all covered in blood. And he's sticking feathers, puts a fan on. It's a really great grotesque tableau of carnage and slaughter. Now, I think because that was in the back of Simon Barrett's mind, they really should have had Fessenden and the girl sitting there, and Lamb sits in between them, and just with the music playing behind, you know, looking for the magic, Dwight Twilley. That should have happened, you know, but anyway, it doesn't. But the scene is still very impactful. So now you've lost another girl. So who's next? Well, you're next, aren't you? Can't remember now. Oh, what happens next? I should say that Crispian, who's the fat-faced guy, Erin's boyfriend, he keeps making journeys outside to try and get a signal and try to get some help and whatever. And he will go out again. He'll go out and he'll go missing for a while. You can tell this will get fractured now because a lot of stuff happens. Erin is still the one. I can make this happen. We've lost. Hang on. Okay, right. The next thing. They go and check on. Oh, they didn't go and check. Mum's dead, but the dad goes upstairs. He said, "Your mum heard noises. One of them's in the house." And Erin has been saying all along, one's in the house. So I'm going to confirm this. And he opens up a closet somewhere upstairs, like, and he finds like there's food, there's wrappings of food. Someone's been in there, and there's like plastic bottles of piss where they've been watching us. They've been here. So that's how they've done this. That's how they knew. And he shuts the door again and all that, like, and the power goes off. But one of them finds the switch and turns the power back on. But as the dad shuts a closet door, there's his other son, Drake, and G standing there. And it's a big jump scare. You go, oh, gee, oh, fucking hell. Oh, it's just you guys. Listen. I think they've been in the house for a while, watching us sleep, knowing our movements, knowing what's going to happen, getting the layout. That's how they've done all this. And the son just going, this is Felix and G just going. And as the dad walks backwards, suddenly Fox appears. Fox is played by Lane Hughes, playing Tom the Fox. Comes up behind him and just goes whoosh, and slits his throat. And then a great fall. It's a great death scene. He's like, and he falls against the wall, and he knocks things over, and he hits like a sort of a table with a telephone on it or a lamp on it, and goes down, and then gurgles his last. And they all stand over him, and the son Felix and his girlfriend, the bitchy goth girl G, just stand over it, and she's like, and obviously Felix isn't that arsed either. That's his dad, and then suddenly. Fox just turns up, stands there with his mask on, then pulls the mask up, and you see a face there. And he's just a normal looking guy, like a bit of a slacker, to be honest. And Felix says, like, really? You had to kill my dad in front of me? Is that what you had to do? Yeah? And he's like, well, he's gone now. So now you know that Felix and G are massively behind the scenes of this, or at least massively involved in it. To be honest with you, it's not a surprise. None of the shocks in this movie about revelations of character will come as a huge sort of like, oh no, I never saw that coming. But that isn't the point. When I first watched it, it annoyed me. When I watched it the second time, and then every time since, it doesn't matter. It's just part of the parlour room farce. It's based a lot on Agatha Christie. It's based a lot on English parlour room mysteries and crime capers and mistaken identities and unmaskings. But a lot of Sherlock Holmes as well is in there as well. and and it works on that level. So it still works when you watch it again and again and again, because now well, you can see exactly she's giving it away, and that's the thing. Wendy, what's her name again? Wendy Glenn, who is uber sexy. She is giving the game away right from the word go, because she knows, look, we're here to kill off your family. Sorry, I'm giving the whole thing away here, but we're here to kill off your family. So we've got to go through this fucking meal shenanigans. We know the guys are outside. They're gonna put the attack on. We know the traps they're set. We know that everyone's gonna die. And we've got to go along with it. I can't be arsed. We're gonna be fine. So you can see her sort of washed up, like exasperated. Have we got to go for this boring tedium first? Can we just kill them now? And that was my big issue with this. Well, if the plan is to kill the entire family, well, I was saying that, for the inheritance, whoa, shock horror. Not exactly a newfangled, MacGuffin, is it? That's clearly what's going on here. He's retired from a great big specialist weapons contractor company, so he's minted. They've got this fabulous fucking antique Tudor style house in Missouri, and so there's money there. Kill them all off, claim home invasion by a bunch of like unknown assassins who we're going to pay off as well, and they'll be laughing. That's their plan. Well, said it all now, but it's dead obvious. You know what it is. If you've seen any movie like this before, then you know this is just a gorier, more violent version of Agatha Christie. That's all it is. But it still works on the exact same principle. Inheritance, and you can't trust him, you can't trust her. They've all got reasons and motives. Anyway, so we now know that Felix and Z are definitely behind all this, and they know the assassins. So Tom, is it? Tom, yeah. Who's been lying under the bed and living in the closet, pissing in fucking plastic bottles for weeks and whatever. So what happens next? Oh my god. Oh yeah. So they've got does another attack take place? Oh, it fucking clearly does. Yeah. Here we go. Tiger comes in again. What happens is, like, Tiger, that's Simon Barrett, the writer, right? He does another attack through the window. Remember, he put his arm through the window to get Erin, and she stabbed him in the arm or the hand or whatever. She goes and gets loads of again, a very similar scene. She goes and gets knives and cutlery and brings them all forwards to everybody who's downstairs. Like, take these. But as she does that, the fucking window goes through and she falls to avoid what could be coming through it, and all the knives scatter in our face basically. And what's been held through is the body of Drake's wife, the one who got fucking smashed through the window and an axe in the head at the neighbour's house. He's thrown her body through the window, and then Tiger comes through. Tiger, sprayed white bit of tiger mask comes through, strides through, and he's got the big axe and all that, and he's about to fucking put an axe into Erin's head. Erin manages to fucking duck away, hoof him in the bollies, in the jewels. Ooh! And she's got one of those meat tenderizers, which she's picked up, for smacking meat and all that. And she gets him in the back of the knee, boof, on the side of the knee, and then it's like fucking, he's in right fucking state, right? And then on the back of the head, and then she mashes his head to bits. Boof, boofty, boofty, boof, 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 splatty, splat. And then rips his mask off and holds his head up, smashed to bits. Anyone recognise him? And it's Felix and G and whoever else maybe, who's still alive, can't remember now. And they're going like, I don't know him at all. Like, she's like, fuck. She's took him out. So Erin is the superstar. She's a kill shot, bloodshot, fucking dead shot by bitch from Hades. Sorry, I'm getting this. There's a small cat who's preening herself right there, right beside you guys, right there. Looking really savage. The fangs are actually on display as she's doing all this. Anyway. So you've now killed one of the aggressors. We noticed 3 of them: a lamb, a fox, and a tiger. Tiger's dead, and the tiger was the least effective of any of them. Fox has been pretty good. Lamb is the most sadistic after the killing of Amy. Beaten, smashed through window, axe in head in neighbour's house, thrown through window by Lamb. I wrote down what happens to all these characters. So right, like you guys, fucking whatever. I think they hear a noise upstairs, and that's when they go up and they leave Erin to her own devices. Erin will. We now know that you've got bad guys on the inside. Erin, I think Lamb will come and attack Erin, and let's get this right. Let's try and work it all out now. See, this is the problem with it. You can't do it scene by scene because so much happens and so much is samey with different characters and just in different rooms. They put booby traps up. Erin orchestrates this with Z. Don't forget, we now know that Z's a bitch. Z's not a friend at all. But Z's keeping up the pretense. And they're knocking nails through planks of wood. Knocking nails through. And they're making like little traps by the windows. So anyone can step through the windows, they can put their foot on the nail, which you get. And there is a scene where they're knocking his nails through, and Z says to Erin, "How do you know all this stuff?" Like, and Erin says, because she's Australian, she's like, "Oh, my dad believed in the end of the world, and lived in a bunker in a survival camp out in the outback. So I learned all this stuff from an early age. When I was 15, I moved to America, but I've still got all these things. I know how to build traps and kill people." That's basically what she's saying. If you ask me, she's lying, because what Adam Wingard's going to do now with Onslaught and the Guest, he'll make her should be one of the super soldiers. We'll come on to all this later at the end, but I reckon he didn't know it at the time, but they're gonna retcon this and say no, she was part of that program too. She came up with this backstory about being on a sort of a survivalist camp in the middle of the outback. But at 15, you came to him. How do you manage to do that? No. She's a fucking super soldier. Anyway, so they put these fucking stakes at these nailed pieces of wood by the windows. But whilst Erin's busy doing something, their back's turned, Z has one of these nailed pieces of wood and is about to do that, and Erin turns around, and it's really bogus, because Erin just goes, "Nothing to see here, nothing. I haven't got a plank of wood nails in it about to slam into your head, you know." But Erin kind of just doesn't fall for it, like so yeah. Anyway, so you get these traps there. I'm not gonna go through it scene by scene. It's impossible at this level now to do it anyway, because it all becomes a very confused jumble of set pieces. Lamb will make another attack. Lamb will come through the window. Erin hides. Erin's in like I think by the cellar. She shut the cellar door. There's light coming through the keyhole, and she's got a screwdriver in a jeans pocket. Like, I should say, Shawnee Vincent is gorgeous, really gorgeous, and it's quite clever that they've made her look sort of combat ready, with like a sort of a nice thin tight gear on, but her silhouette, her figure looks lithe, athletic. Just jeans, a pair of boots, and this long sleeve top on. But it looks action ready. It does. Anyway, so fucking Lamb comes through, and as he looks through the window, he sees one of the planks of wood with nails in it, and just thinks, okay, right, I'm not going to step there. So he steps over anyway and puts his foot down, because there's one right next to the what do you call it, the skirting board underneath the window, and he puts it in very clear motion. His combat boot goes, whoa! And I will say right now, this is a major, major fault with the movie. And I don't think they realised it at the time. They show that Tiger and Lamb wear Vietnam issue jungle boots in black, not in the olive green, olive drab, black and olive drab, but they're combat boots with Panama soles on them. Now, have I got to say, the Panama sole and the jungle boots issued to American soldiers, and I've had several pairs of these. I wish I had. I love those boots. The last pair I hadn't worn them for a while, and I opened the cupboard to get them out, and I found a dead mouse inside. The mouse had made a fucking nest in my boots. Anyway, there's a snake in my boot. There's a fucking dead mouse in mine. They have a steel shank running through the sole, and its specific purpose is to stop nails and punji stakes, which the Viet Cong and the NVA would do in the jungle as booby traps. These are part of the movie, by the way, these ringtones. And so it would stop it penetrating. So the fact that he steps on a nail and goes like that, motherfucker, he roars, it's ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, oh, you can't, oh, there's some boots out there which look like combat boots but don't have the steel shank in them. They make a point of showing those boots a lot. Only a Fox doesn't wear the combat boots. Tiger and Lamb do. Fox wears a pair like trainers because he's the slacker one. He's kind of like, he's that easy going. He's got like, you know, a barista's beard on him. Like, he's a bit chubby as well. Like, he's not, you know, he's not what you think. However, Lamb really is the real deal, and he's a right fucking sadistic twat. But he's put his foot on his bloody nail, which, as I say, shouldn't have happened, but anyway, it does. It's like, oh, motherfucker! And he manages to prise up, take his boots off, but he's seen the body of Tiger. Now, Tiger isn't just a brother in arms, it's his real life brother. Not real life, but in the movie, it's his brother. So, he's lost one of his own. He throws a table over, he's fucking hailing stuff around. He's completely fucking, you know, going ballistic now. This was just a simple job for them, an assassination job. Because these three guys are servicemen. Servicemen, or are they part of the super soldier program that Wingard has set up with this, the Guest and Onslaught? I would say not, because they're inept, they're fucking rubbish at what they do. Whereas David in the Guest is superb. The female sniper who takes out the other renegade super soldiers in Onslaught are clearly part of the same, well, I would say, I haven't seen the film yet, are part of the same program. And I think Erin is part of the same program. Just different levels of where they got up to and how they got out, you know. Just saying. But these three assassins are nowhere near as expert. They're nowhere near. In fact, they're shit. They're really crap at doing what they're supposed to be experts at doing. So he goes ballistic, but he takes his mask off as well and raises it above. But he's wearing a sort of a balaclava, a sort of semi-balaclava as well. Like, it's kind of weird. So you can see his face a little bit, and he's like, obviously he's despairing. He lost his brother, and he hears a noise from behind the cellar door. He's like, puts the mask back down again. Here's the thing, folks. Masks in movies, masks in real life are intimidating. If you're the one wearing the mask, you are a massive, massive disadvantage. You can't see jack shit. Your breath is forming condensation inside the mask. You are sweating like a horse minge. You're useless. When you wear balaclavas or you wear NVGs, you're wearing whatever headgear is necessary for the particular operation. You know, you've got to put up with that. But that's because that's strategic operational deployment stasis. You need it. It's hard to get around, and it will be an embuggerance, but it's going to save your life. It gives you the upper hand but wearing a fucking mask like these things. There's no operational fucking basis for it. It's not going to give you the upper hand. It means you can't fucking see. Your breathing's going because you can't fucking breathe properly either. You've got no peripheral vision. You've got very naff vision altogether. Because these guys are seen through little slits, but it's iconic. They're making masks to make this sort of like a Michael Myers style thing, and in that respect, it works. But the fact that these guys are soldiers, supposedly, and he's got a balaclava underneath and then pulls the mask back down. He's inoperative for most of the time. He'd be useless. Anyway, great scene. She's sitting there behind the cellar door, and the light is coming through the keyhole. And she's been uber quiet, but she's obviously given the game away because he knows she's in there. And like you see, he walks past, the door. So the light beam breaks, so she knows he's gone past, and then you get it, and it's dead obvious. She leans up and looks through, and straight away you see like a big lamb face with a big eye, and it's like, oh, axe, Jack Nicholson, shining, axe through the door. And what happens? Oh yeah, I know what happens. Yeah, I forgot for a second there. He's hacking through the door. But Drake, the one who got the crossbow bolt in his shoulder, he fainted, remember, and they knocked him out, sort of thing, with drugs and all that, like to kill his pain. He suddenly come to, and he staggers into the the banquet room, and oh hey, and the lamb, it's like that, turns round, goes, oh hey, and the lamb was like coming towards him. All right, okay, and he's like. Oh, no. Erin fucking sprints out that door, screwdriver, fucking rams it in Lamb's back. He's like, oh shit. Don't forget, he stepped on a fucking nail. He's got a screwdriver in his fucking shoulder. And he fucking he hobbles out, does a run into the woods. And so she like looks after Drake. Z and Felix, the other son, come down. Oh, we heard noises downstairs, but we're too afraid to come down. But we know they're bastards now. Like, Z will help you with the defenses. Or whatever, whatever happens. Like, I can't even have all the fucking the chronology now. It doesn't really matter. But you and me, Drake, will go and get more weapons from downstairs and whatever. The screwdrivers in the basement. So the two of them go downstairs, and of course Drake's all fucking drowsy and moody, but he doesn't know his wife's dead. His wife's been thrown through an axe in the head and been thrown through a window. He doesn't know about that at all. But Felix tells him, so anyway, where the hell is it Amy? Yeah, Amy. Where the hell is Amy? Amy's dead. What? She's got an axe in the head. Her body's upstairs. She's been thrown through a window and all that. And Drake's like, are you fucking kidding me, man? What the fuck? And this guy's like going like, look, just calm down. He's like, don't tell me to fucking calm down. My wife's dead. And then suddenly Felix just stabs him with a screwdriver in his gut. And Drake's like, what the? Stabs him again. Another screwdriver. Picks up more He stabs him with 6 screwdrivers. 6 screwdrivers. And he says, well, you just fucking die. Just die already, And then finally, Drake just goes, oh. And see, it is comedy. It sounds grotesque, but it's utter fucking farcical comedy riff on Stalk and Slash and, Friday the 13th and Bloodbath, aka Twitch the Death Nerve, Mario Barber, which this film is influenced by massively. Anyway, so Drake's gone now, but we knew that these guys were bad anyway. So what happens next? Oh yeah. Another chase scene will take place. They go after Erin will escape. Erin jumps through a window. She goes upstairs and finds the bodies of the dad and the mum, because she wasn't there when those two killings took place, but she must have known about it. Anyway, she goes up there, finds the dad slit throat and all that, and finds oh, I forgot to mention Z, the gorgeous goth girl who's a bitch, wants to shag Felix on the bed with the dead mother, his dead mother lying next to them. Wants to shag on that. She's a dark-hearted bitch, but he won't do it. But she's like stripping off and all like, come on, let's do it next to your dead mother. Oh no, I wanna fuck now. And I'm like, oh god, no. Which kind of tells you she's the one behind all this. She's the one who's put the idea in Felix's head. Let's kill all your family. And it's going to make me hot, it's going to make me fucking, you know, and we'll make loads of money out of it as well, we'll get the inheritance. She's the one that's got all this bunch together, these hitmen, because I think Simon Barrett said in the commentary that dark people always know other dark people. So that's how she's got to know these ex-soldiers, you know, and the small town America, it doesn't cost much. $50, you know, if I pay you $50, will you kill that guy? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it for 30, you know, and a couple of whiskies. And that's what it's like, and that's genuinely what it's like. So that's the idea that I took, that she is dark-hearted and very, very greedy, and sees an avenue to exploit, an angle to exploit, but knows these guys, so we can use these guys, we'll pay them, but we're going to make millions out of this. But she's seriously fucked up, like. So you've had that sequence as well. Anyway, Erin goes up there and finds the mum and the dad's bodies, and then suddenly I think it's Fox comes up behind her with an axe or whatever he's got, like, and she sees, now it's a miscued take. The first take, she throws like a hammer or the meat tenderizer or whatever she's got, she throws it and it's meant to hit him in the face. And in the first take, apparently it did, but whatever, they didn't keep that take of it because something else went wrong. So the next take you got, she misses him, he swerves it, and it hits the wall behind him. And she goes up and runs and jumps through the window, upstairs window, and lands on the gravel outside. Oh god, great big piece of fucking glass is shoved into her thigh as well, like through her jeans. And she's lying there, like, and Fox just leans out and looks down. And like, she's like, oh fuck, hobbles off, like, oh Jesus, gets into the shelter of the woods there, pulls the piece of glass, like, oh, yeah, and you're all cringing, like, fuck, having had glass in my own body on 1, 2, 3, well, there's a fourth occasion, but we won't go into that one. But I literally plunged through 2 glass doors at one stage when I was a lot younger, and I had glass sticking out every piece of me. I was cut to ribbons. My mum dragged me and threw me in the shower and hosed me off. And all the wounds were like superficial, but I'm still scarred to hell and back. I think you can see the scar there. That one, that runs up behind here. There was a great big piece of glass which was stuck in my wrist, basically. And I was delirious because I was lying in like this, going through 2 glass doors. It was stupid. It was an accident, and I was lying amongst all this glass, and the glass was glinting so much I went delirious, and I thought I was in the Guinea Gap swim baths, which is where I learned to swim. And so I began to do the front crawl, and as I did that, I saw this huge piece of glass sticking out my arm, and I didn't pull it out, but as I did that, it fell out, and of course blood was going. Anyway, she gets into the woods, and she pulls this big shard of glass out, like, and as she's looking, she sees the screwdriver that she put in Lamb's shoulder. Nail in his boot, his foot, screwdriver in his back, and she sees that, and then she fucking realizes, oh shit, he's out here, and yeah, he is, and crossbow hits the tree beside her. She fucking hobbles off, like, where does she go? Where does she go to? Does she go back to the neighbour's house? I can't remember. Anyway. They all chase after her, but she goes back in through one of the windows, and sort of doubles back on herself, goes back in through a window, doesn't step on any nails, by the way. And note to everybody, if you set booby traps, you need to know where you've put them. Be it in the woods, be it urban, be it in your house, be it wherever. You need to know where you've put them, because if, when the shit hits the fan and you've got to turn tail and run, or take the fight to the enemy, you know, you could fall foul of your own booby traps. It happens. You need to know where they are. Anyway, so she goes back in from the window, and I know I missed something out here. It doesn't really matter. Felix and Z and oh shit, who is it now? Lamb. I'm sorry, Fox go running out after her. But Lamb sort of stops and realises and goes, hang on a second. And he sees the smashed open window, like, and he goes back in that way because he thinks, yeah, she's gone back in there. And the reason why he's not chasing after her, because he can't fucking run. He's been wounded, you know, shoulder and his foot as well, so he can't run anywhere. So he comes back, and wouldn't it have been great if he'd stepped on another fucking bunch of nails? That would have, do you know what? That would have been awesome if he'd done that. He's like, oh, fucking not again. But as he steps in, she's waiting round the side of the window, and with a screwdriver or whatever, she goes, fuck off, right in the top of his head, might even be his eye, through his mask, and he goes, falls down, dies. Scripted wise, what was meant to happen was he puts his hand up like that, and the screwdriver goes through, or whatever it is, goes through his hand and into his head, right? She picks up his axe and decapitates him. And what was meant to happen, and wouldn't this have been fucking awesome, pure Evil Dead style, she takes his head off, and his head falls off, but his hand is still holding his head. So his head rolls off like that on the deck, and his hand is still holding his own head, nailed through, well, spiked through with a knife or a screwdriver. Would have been awesome. We couldn't get that. There's no way on earth we could have got that effect completed and done, and we'd got an NC-17, but we were unrated. So we wanted an R rating, which is what they got. We couldn't have got away with that effect in there. But would have been bloody awesome though, wouldn't it? Anyway. So now you've lost Tiger, you've lost Lamb. But Fox comes back in after it, and I think she's limping good style. Like, while they've all been gone, she's rigged up the axe above the main doorway. She's done another big booby trap. She's rigged it all up, like, and the axe is there. So you open the door, that axe is gonna come down right into your fucking face, Jasper, and boof, you know, bisection there, cranial bisection. And but as she's done all this, like, anyway, they come back. Fox Fox is still left. Yeah, Fox comes in for a different way, and she, oh fuck, so she legs it down to the basement, and in a great sequence, you see her smashing all the bulbs on the ceiling. So there's no lights down there, and she's got one of the cameras, the family's cameras, because you've seen her taking pictures before, so it's not like she suddenly appeared. She was taking pictures of the family earlier on, and she puts it there and sets it up so the flash is going to keep going off, and she hides, and Fox comes through, like, and he's looking around, and it's a strobe effect, fucking flash keeps hitting him, and he's like, wow, fucking hell, you know, like, but he's looking for her the whole time, like, flash. And there's logs of wood down there, which you've already seen. She picks up one of those and basically just takes it out with a log, and she smashes his head to pulp. Boof, 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 boof. She logs in, good style. Bang, bang, bangety bang, splat. Fucking head's gone, like. So all the hitmen are dead now. You've got Z and you've got Felix left. So anyway, Felix has picked up the crossbow, and just before Fox has gone in, Fox pulls the mask up again. He's the nice guy at the hitman, like, he's kind of going, you know what to use that? It's like, well, yeah, I just you know, point and shoot. So yeah, you've got 2 bolts, 2 shots, make them count, killer. So anyway, he actually has fired one through. Oh yeah, she comes up from the cellar, and then him and Z, the goth chick, are outside, and he sees it. And he fucking fires. He goes, I got her. He didn't. He missed, but she's ducked down and legged it through. And so they go into the house and they go after it, and you get the fight in the kitchen. Z attacks Erin first, and it's a cat scrap, like, and they're giving it loads, but Erin's way better. But Z is like fucking just full of like rage, goth chick from hell. Fucking and they're scrapping round, but Felix comes in. This is Nicholas Tucci comes in, like, and he's so two of us now against you. And she fucking boots the kitchen door into his head, and he fucking slips over as well. Like, oh, she had prepared a pan of boiling water earlier. You know the reason why, you know, boiling water, someone in the face, you know. But she after a while she turns it off because nothing's happened. She turns it off again. It's evaporating anyway. So he comes in and she manages to throw this pan of water on him, and he goes, "It's not even hot, you dumb bitch." She kicks the fucking door in his face, hoofs him in the bollies, whatever, and then this bitch jumps on her again. So the pan in her hand, she turns around, fuck off, and clocks goth chick, boom, on the noggin, boom, and she's like that. And then the two of them are still alive. She grabs the blender, fucking blender. It's pure gremlins, this, like, grabs the fucking blender, manages to plug it in whilst this guy's trying to fucking fight her, and she shoves it on his head. And it's like, oh, fucking his brains are coming out down his face. It's a great comic book death. Z springs at her again, like, and she just goes, she's got the fucking knife and just goes, fuck off, top of Z's head. All strawberry jam again, like, slumps down. And again, like that shot I said about in the neighbour's house, when oh god, Drake's wife gets killed and Lamb sits down next to Larry Feston's body, and he should have had the girl's body there as well, and the three of them sitting on the settee. Would have been a better image, I think. You get it now. Erin the heroine, sits down between the bodies of these two, the two instigators, and just like sits there. It's over. And then, how addictive is that though? And then you get what is it now? Felix's phone goes off in his pocket, and she's like, gets the phone out, takes the call, doesn't say a word, and it's her fella. Remember, we haven't mentioned him for a while, have we? No, we haven't. I mean, because I've forgotten his fucking name. AJ Bowman is Crispian. Hey, Felix, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I know. Don't forget, she's not saying a word, she's just listening to him. You know, I can't stand the violent side of things. I'm not like that. Is it all done? Are they all dead? I'm coming back now. You know, it's all going to be okay now, isn't it? Yeah, I'll come back now. Look, Felix, I'm sorry. Please, will you just speak to me? Look, I'm coming back home now. So he does. He comes back, and he's still on the phone, and he turns around in the great big banquet room, like, and Erin's behind him, like, on the other phone, like, this listening. And he turns around and he goes like, oh, you know, hon, you know, babe, you know, thank God you're okay. Yeah. Listen, you know, I know how this looks. You know, you were never meant to be hurt. The whole plan was you would be looked after. You wouldn't be it because you were meant to be the witness. You were meant to be the witness, the only one who didn't have a motive, you know, behind, you know, killing anyone here. You would be the witness to back everything up. A home invasion of mysterious assassins. No one knew. Babe, come on now, look. And she says nothing. She's just like staring. She's covered in blood as well, like. Not her own blood, of course, because she's a vixen, a vixen of pure violence. She's a goddess of gore, and he's going like, listen, babe, you know, he's getting closer and closer to it. You know, I'm not like this. I couldn't stomach any of this, and you know, think about it now. If you know, we can all come out of this smelling, you know, of money. You know, we'll be in Paris by the weekend. You know, loving, whooping it up. You know, is Felix? Yeah. How about Z? It's for the best. It's for the best. That means that you and me, will make all the money. And you know, who knows? And this was improv. This maybe you know, a holiday and maybe an engagement. She just goes. She's got a knife. She's like, fuck off. In his throat. It's like, and then she goes, takes it out. She spins it around in her hand and goes, fuck off. Right in his eye. Down he goes, and just stands there. Just when you think, well done you, hon. Well done you. Bullet. You think she's dead. And it's a brilliant edit, brilliant shot. Literally. And she slumps down next to all the dead bodies that are there. Like, she's lying there. And you see this fucking cop who's come from one of the broken windows, who's just seen this finale and bodies everywhere and seen her kill this guy. And he's Calvin Reeder playing Officer Trubiano. And he's shot there, and he goes back to the his cruiser. Yeah, you won't believe it's a fucking bloodbath. You know, send everyone. You know, and it's madness here. But she's not dead, and he puts the radio back, like, right, I'm going in, and he goes up the front door, and she realises, and she's like, she's been shot in the shoulder. She's like. No! It was the front door, and that fucking booby trap, the axe, which we'd all forgotten about, comes swinging down. You don't see it hit him, but you just see it splat across the screen. You're next, in blood, across the screen. So he's been took out. You've had 16 on-screen deaths, and God knows what'll happen to her. How the hell would you explain it? Your next it's fabulous fun. The improv, once you realise that's what they're doing, it works. It adds an edge, an edgy sort of queasy weirdness to it, to some of the earlier sequences, and the improv lines. And it works. The set pieces are outstanding. There's plentiful faults. If you're going to take this family out, you'd have done it. You'd have done it straight away. You'd have done it in a blink of an eye. Why protract things out? Why wear the masks? Why do it? Why this? Why that? Well, do we believe, I forgot his fucking name again, Crispian. Do we believe Crispian when he says to Erin, you were meant to survive, you were meant to be the witness? No, we don't. He's lying his ass off. She's meant to die as well. They're all meant to die apart from him, Z, and his brother Felix. Everyone else is meant to die. And they pay off these soldiers, these ridiculous hitmen. And when Lamb realised that his brother Tiger's been killed, Tiger played by Simon Barrett, who wrote this movie, you know, he's gone for it. This wasn't meant to happen. And like Felix is like, look, I knew you guys were brothers in arms. I didn't know you were brothers for real. He's like, look, I'll pay you more. I'll give you an extra 100 grand or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, you know, because he's going to kill Felix at that stage, and the gore is not that great. I'll be honest. There's plentiful gore, you know, all practical prosthetic effects, slit throats and arrows and fucking all sorts like. But the way the film has been shot, and they explain why it's shot this way. They said that Tudor house, that antique house, which is down the road from Adam Wingard's place, by the way, and apparently it's not that secluded. There's a golf course right just behind it, and there's a big main road, but it looks the way it's filmed like, oh that God, it's in the middle of nowhere. Apart from Larry Fessenden's house just down the road, it looks like it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. But where's it going with that? Oh yeah, the gore, because the house is very brown and sepia in all its decor. They went, oh, let's just use that. Let's use that as our visual aesthetic for the movie itself. So the film is very brown, very ochre, very sepia tinted, and the consequence of that is the blood is really, really sort of. It doesn't look thick. It doesn't look gory. It looks very sort of washed out and brown. You're like, Now let's be honest. Tom Savini got his gore wrong for Dawn of the Dead, but that doesn't matter. It's too bright. The wrong mix was done, as he freely acknowledges. But we all know and love the gore in Dawn of the Dead because it's bright red and splashy and like this pure comic book stuff. And the film is a comic book movie, a horror epic, but it's comic book in style. And this, even though it has lots of episodic violence and set pieces, that blood is a letdown. I'll be honest, it's a bit of a letdown. And it's a gory film, there's tons of kills and all that, like. But the set pieces are great. Erin, who in my depiction there, actually I think took a bit of a backseat. She is a superstar. Shani Vincent is outstanding as Erin. Her gung-ho attitude, you know it straight away when Tarek, Ty West, gets right from the start, gets drilled through the noggin with a crossbow bolt. She is like straight away, she knows, get out the way of the windows, use cover, and I'll get you all out of here. She's really quick off the mark with that. Everyone's screaming and panicking and all that, like. But she knows her stuff. But it's done it's quite subtle the way that she does it. You just accept straight away that she can do this stuff. She's not like a big superhero, brazen, ballsy, sort of woman. She's still vulnerable. There's moments where, she looks scared. When Lamb's about to come through the cellar door after her, she's panicking there. And when Fox comes at her in the bedroom and she throws the whatever it is at him, and leaps through the window, and then she's injured as well. But she knows I've got a task to do here, which is why I utterly firmly believe she is the super soldier sort of program, from the same program that Dan Stevens is from in The Guest. And we got this trio of mad bastards in Onslaught, the upcoming Onslaught. And the female sniper who happens to be living down there with a daughter. She's obviously estranged from the father, but she's got a young daughter to look after. But she's super skilled as well, and she'll fight back against these maniacs. Well, the whole thing, this trilogy, because only after he made You're Next and did The Guest demanded a sequel, which we never got. We got a sequel only in soundtrack alone. I played you this. The Guest 2 exists as a soundtrack. A soundtrack album for a film does not exist. But it's great. It's got the same vibe, the 80s electro synth stuff. It's wonderful score. And Onslaught is the sequel to The Guest, which we hadn't got previously. But he has said, this is Adam Wingard, has said, You're Next, The Guest and Onslaught are all connected. They're in the same universe. They are basically my trilogy of the super soldiers. So the super soldier in this is, and I kid you not, it's Erin. Her bullshit story about being in the outback and a survivalist camp, that is just simply a cover story. She is what she is. But for whatever reason, she's left that program. Excuse me. I've been talking a lot and I've been drinking whiskey, so throat goes very dry. And I've also run out of fucking whiskey. Not a good sign. There was a drag there. So I firmly believe she is the super soldier from this movie. And only after the event, him and Simon Barrett, who wrote it, have gone like, well, yeah, we can always say that she is one of that program. For whatever reason, she left and did her own thing, trying to make her own life. they're not all screwed up. Like Dan Stevens is screwed up, and these three fucking berserkers from Onslaught are clearly fucked up beyond belief. But Your Next is great. It is. It's funny. It's alarmingly violent. It's cult in the making. The masks. They wanted to make iconic masks, and they are, even though they're just simple little plastic, animal head masks, just spray painted white, Michael Myers style. It works, and I think there's old English tales of pirates that were doing stuff around the coastline of the UK back in like the 14th, 15th, 16th centuries, who would drag people mad by wearing animal masks. These are true stories, or they're folklore stories. So the sight of someone wearing an animal head, an animal mask, is a terrifying thing. And I reckon that Simon Barrett and Adam Wingard had that in mind as well, just to give them just these bizarre animal heads, little masks, but they still become very strange. They're wearing combat gear as well. You've got Fox, he's got a pair of trainers on. The other two wear fucking jungle boots, albeit black, not the green jungle boots. But I said before, that metal shank, they should have thought about that, because that is when I watched it, I thought, the first time I saw it, I thought, this is brilliant, because he's going to step on that now, and he'll bend that nail, because he's wearing the steel shank in his combat boots. But it never goes, it goes, it's like, ah! Wouldn't happen, folks. But Your Next is tremendously vigorous fun. It has an indie vibe to it. It's low budget, but it makes the most of that budget. The glass effects are great. The violence is off the scale. The ensemble group Chaos is writ large, and it gets you going. That shaky cam stuff during the initial crossbow bolt attack, that does not last the rest of the movie. It doesn't, and it's there clearly for it puts you in the moment, and that was all the vogue at the time. So we'll let them off for that. The rest of it is very, very beautifully shot, to be honest. The score, well, you've been hearing the score, the ringtones, the commando beat. Kyle McKinnon and Adam Wingard, Simon Barrett, and a few others are all listed as being who created the score for it, because they all added little bits, little snippets. Let's do this theme here, this little beat. Doing them on their phone half the time. This is way back in 2011. They were doing this on their phones. We're creating these little beats. Let's play that commando beat again, which actually is Erin's theme. It's either Adam Wingard or Simon Barrett that came up with this on their phone, just literally dicking about. It is pure commando, it's pure James Horner. And they acknowledge that as well now, because that all was in there. But also, the other influences, Bloodbath, Twitch of the Death Nerve, Mario Barber's 1972, Slaughterfest. An entire family's wiped out, and everything that we killed this person. Oh God, we've got to kill that person now. Now we've got to kill that person and that person. Oh my God. There's an octopus in there. I love making couple get speared through their double backs to the floor, which was copied again in Friday the 13th Part 2. But that film, Bloodbath, there's a cat fight taking place outside. Did you hear that? That should be my ringtone. Pussy fight. That film for Mario Barber really started the seed for Stalk and Slash, and the cinematic take people down, a big ensemble cast, take them down one by one in escalatingly grisly fashion. And that was the one that did it without a doubt. Also known as Bay of Blood. It's got many different titles. It's a classic of its kind, and the two parents who've done this end up getting killed by their own kids as well. In the twist ending, the kids kill them. So everyone fucking dies. I think there's 14 deaths in that, like maybe 13 or 14 deaths. But in this, you've got 16 deaths. So they up the ante a little bit. But it's great. Barbara Crampton, what a fucking babe. Even to this day, she's doing cameos in movies even now, and she's astonishing. I don't know how there must be a really, really ugly painting of her in the attic, the Crampton family attic. There's got to be a really nasty, grisly, gnarly picture of her, because she's retained that youth. So in this movie, and this is 16 years ago, they had to grey her up and put wrinkles all over her face, and she was in her 60s then, you know. So anyway, You're Next is fucking awesome. It's nice and nihilistic. It is uber funny at the same time as being grisly and nasty, but it's also, it's exciting. And how many of these types of movies where the last girl, the final girl, you're like, oh really? This guy could kill, or whoever could kill people who are fucking college jocks and, you know, football superstars. You know, they lift weights and they do martial arts, and they punch their fucking heads off, but they can't catch the flimsy little athletic girl who keeps running away and all that. Who then outwits them at the end and puts an axe through their head. How? Well, in this film, it works because you don't for 1 second doubt that she can do what she does, because she does fall over. She does get frightened. Things through the windows grab her all the time, or body coming through, and she drops stuff everywhere. But she's quick to, right, okay, I've dropped everything, but I can grab that and I go, fuck, I know how to take you down. Even I'm on the deck and you're above me, I can still take you down, and it works. Charlie Vincent is outstanding in this. Oh, answer that fucking phone, somebody. Anyway, right, there you go. You're Next. Finally, I've got it out of my system. It went all over this show, I know, but you got it. You got pretty much everything that happens in the film I've given to you, and I've gone on for longer than the movie itself. So, folks, I have been and always shall be KILT-MAN. So please, in the meantime, as ever, like, watch who you invite to your dinner parties, and if they're family members, then don't invite them at all. You can't trust your own family. You can't trust them. I tell you. You can't fucking trust your own family. Especially if you've got, like, money somewhere. Anyway, You're Next is great. And it does set up, you know, the Adam Wingard, Simon Barrett thing for The Guest. Oh, I'll be covering that as well. The Guest is more, oh, I don't know, it's more neon 80s savvy. This was like, you can't call You're Next a horror film. It really isn't a horror film at all. It does get lumped in that genre, and it shouldn't do. It has the tropes. This is what Adam Wingard does. His films follow the tropes of horror stuff. So this one, stalk and slash, pure slasher, one by one, picked off, you know, sort of movie. But it's a combat movie. It's a survival combat stealth movie. That's all it is, really. And The Guest is, well, a lot of things happen in that, but it's set at Halloween, and Dan Stevens as David does become a kind of Michael Myers type character. But you've got so many other scenes which he's actually the hero in certain scenes, although he clearly is setting things up as well. But The Guest is outstanding. The Guest is a clear step up from You're Next. And then who'd have thought that Adam Wingard would go on to a couple of Godzilla movies, the biggest of the big. I won't go into those because I'm not into that stuff at all. I'm not into it. King Kong, yeah, but don't get King Kong with Godzilla. That don't work for me. But he certainly moved up to a much bigger league, and now he's come back to doing Onslaught, which is this sort of thing again. I love the guy. The fact that he's played in the big leagues with the big stuff and the big effects and all that, like, and lots of money, and he's come back to doing low budget, you know, threadbare locations and sets and uber violence. You're a winner in my books, Adam. You're a winner. So I recommend You're Next, thoroughly and implicitly. And no, we've got to finish on it, haven't we? I did a video on this song, a specific video on the song. They wanted something catchy to play on a loop, but also something, because of the reverb and the echoes on those lyrics, Adam Wingard thought there's something freakish about that, something scary and dark. It's a sweet sort of power pop ballad from '77. But there is a creepy, haunting vibe to it. So on repeat, it works. Yeah. And nobody who watches this film, who did not know this song, comes away from this film without going, I want that song. It's in my head. I need to have that song to exorcise it from my soul. But once it's in there, it don't let go. Right, I'm definitely out of here. There we go. Gonna see you all later.